देवा परं तपः वासुदेवा परो धर्म वासुदेवा परा गतिः. What meaning? Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Paraha, the ultimate goal. Veda, revealed scriptures. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Paraha, for worshipping. Makaha, sacrifices. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Para, the means of attaining. Yoga, mystic paraphernalia. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Para, under his control. Kriya, fruitive activities. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Param, the supreme. Jnanam, knowledge. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Param, best. Tapaha, austerity. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Param, best. Tapaha, austerity. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Paraha, superior quality. Dharmaha, religion. Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead. Para, ultimate. Gati, goal of life. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. In the revealed scriptures, the ultimate object of knowledge is Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. The purpose of performing sacrifice is to please Him. Yoga is for realizing activities are ultimately rewarded by Him only. He is supreme knowledge, and all severe austerities are performed to know Him. Religion, dharma, is rendering loving service unto Him. He is the supreme goal of life. Purport is very long. That prayers go very slowly. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuromilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shrirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namah हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to beg blessings from all the Vaishnavas present here, especially can you make echo zero. especially all the senior Vaishnavas present here. This is Damodaran Prabhu, Sumit Prabhu, many other Vaishnavas. So this today's verse is very, very important verse. And in one of the lectures on this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada was mentioning that we can say this verse is the sum and substance of all Bhagvatam Vedic literatures also. This verse is directly going to the essence, not taking us here and there in different paths. So directly bringing anyone who will read this verse, he will come to know that ultimate goal of life is to surrender to Lord Vasudeva, Lord Shri Krishna. So Vasudeva Paraveda. So in purport also it will go. So Prabhupada on everything, Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakha, on each and every of these words, Prabhupada has given one paragraph, and he nicely explained those. So first we'll speak something on this. I was hearing from his guest Radhesham Prabhu on this particular verse. I'll pick something and then we'll go to the purport. Vasudeva Para Veda. Veda, Vedic knowledge. And this says the ultimate goal of all Vedic knowledge is to know Lord Krishna. And Lord Himself also says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedyo vedant krit ved videha chaha. That I am the person who is the compiler of the Vedanta. I am the person who know the Vedas, and ultimately through Vedas I am to be known. That Lord says. So this is the ultimate goal of all Vedic study. If after studying all the Vedas, all the scriptures, if one does not come to this conclusion and this understanding that one has to surrender to Lord, so then the whole study of Vedic knowledge is simply a hard labor. Shama evahi kevala. So very interesting happened in my life once. Uh, after Utkarsha in first year, I was, because college was opening after some more days, I was going back to home after Utkarsha came. So I was sitting in train on my seat, so wearing tilak also, is chanting rounds also on my beat bag. So that time only one another boy, he was of same age of me only almost. So he also saw that someone who is inclined to spirituality is there. So he came not to me. His seat was also very nearby only. So he came to me and we started discussing. So we were discussing. So he was asking what you are doing, what you are chanting. So I explained him this is what, and after Utkarsha, enthusiasm जिस तरह का रहता है. So whole Utkarsha syllabus, राधे श्याम ने जो सब कुछ बताया था, अल्टीमेटली सब कुछ एसेंस है, भगवान को सरेंडर करना है, होली नेम चेंट करना है, कलयुग का धर्म है, हरिनाम संकीर्तन, सब कुछ इसको मैं बताया. Then I asked him, what about you? I think you are also interested in spirituality. इसलिए आप मेरे से आए बात करना चाहे. So he told that somewhere in Rishikesh or some, I think Chitrakoot or Rishikesh, some place, he was studying in a Gurukul, Vedic Gurukul. So he was mentioning that he has taken the course of Rig Veda. And that course of Rig Veda itself is the 7-year course. 7-year course. And he had already spent 4 years. So now only 3 years were remaining. His brother wanted him to complete that Rig Veda course and become a great learned Pandit in Vedas. So he was mentioning that just to read these 4 Vedas, it takes almost 28 to 30 years. Just 4 Vedas. Forget about Upanishad, Puranas and other things. So he has taken 7 years of course on just Rig Veda. And Rig Veda is all about Karma Kanda. Most of them. 98% of Rig Veda is about Karma. So in that Rig Veda, everything is just mentioned about you do this yajna, Indra will be pleased, you do this yajna, sun will be pleased, you do this yajna, Shani will be pleased, this demigod will please, and he will award you some benediction, this and that. And ultimately you will go to heaven. So then I inquired from him, why you need to do all these yajnas and everything? You are studying Rig Veda, what is the essence of that? So many things I asked from him. But ultimately his conclusion was, no, we have to do yajna. Because demigods will be pleased and then we'll get the things and everything. So even after studying 4 years of Rig Veda, no, he could not come to the conclusion that ultimately and he don't know actually that there is a spiritual world, and we are here in this material world, and we are suffering here. And ultimate goal of life is to go back to Godhead. And the process to go back to it is chanting the holy names of the Lord. We don't know that after studying 4 years in a Vedic Gurukul Rigveda course. So, and I was feeling so fortunate and so blessed that just in 1 year, not in 1 year also, no, by His grace, Adeshampu's mercy and other devotees' mercy, we understood everything. What is the essence? Why we are here? Who we are? Who is the Lord? Where to go? What is the goal of life? What is the essence of all Vedic study and everything? So much hodgepodge, so much this and that here and there. It's very difficult to extract the essence. So that's why Prabhupada mentioned in many of his purports that only a self-realized spiritual master can only extract the essence from the Vedic scriptures and give to others. So our acharyas, they've extracted the essence and they are giving it freely. And I was little proud also that time. Proud in the sense that in just 6 months, we get so much of knowledge, so much essence and answers of so many questions from Vedic study that अपना 6 महीने का डिवोटी है, वो जब क्लास देता है वो भी पूरा भीड़ में बोल देता है कि एनी क्वेश्चंस, इतना कॉन्फिडेंस उसको आ जाता नहीं, कोई प्रश्न किसी का है नहीं. So so much, Acharya. So the Vedic study, so ultimate is Vasudeva, Lord Krishna. One has to come to this conclusion. Otherwise, it's useless then, hard labor. Then Vasudeva para Makha. Makha means sacrifices. That all the sacrifices, all the rituals, yajnas we do, that is ultimately for the pleasure of Lord. Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita, that yajnarthet karmano yatram lokoyam karma bandhana dartham karma konteye mukta sangha. But ultimately, the purpose of yajna is to please Yajna Purusha, the Lord Krishna. And Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Agnir Aham Hutam, one shloka comes like that. So there also Lord says that I am the clarified butter in the yajna. I am the fire itself. I am the Yajna Kunda also. Yajna Kunda is the mouth of Lord Vishnu. And I am the Vedic chant. So everything in yajna is Lord only. So that's why the purpose of yajna is also to know Lord only, to please Lord. That is the purpose of yajna and all the sacrifices we do. So that's, and somewhere also it's mentioned that sacrifice. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that whatever you do, whatever you offer, whatever you eat, yad karoti, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi dadasi, yad tapasyasi konteya, tat kurushva madarpa. So everything is offered to Lord only. One should, whatever he is doing, whatever yajna, sacrifices, that is ultimately for the pleasure of Lord. So here comes very beautiful example, sacrifice and yajna. Like we know pastime in Krishna book comes, Bhagvatam, that yajnik brahmanas, they were chanting Vedic mantras, they were performing yajna and everything. No. But when the Yajna Purusha, Lord Krishna himself, sent his coward friends that you go to this Yajnik Brahmanas and tell them that we are hungry, give us some food. So when these boys went to the Yajnik Brahmanas, they were busy in performing their yajna. And they forget the goal of yajna only. The goal of yajna was to please Lord Krishna, and they were so busy in performing yajna that they did not give food for the friends of Lord and for Lord ultimately. So in that way they could not please the Lord. And on the other side, the wives of this Yajnik Brahmana, they were illiterate, simple ladies. But when Krishna told his friend that, okay, no issue, you go to the wives of these Brahmanas and tell them the Lord Krishna and Balaram, they are asking for food, we are hungry. So immediately, this Yajnik Brahmana's wives, they did not care about their husband's yajna and everything. वो यज्ञ में सामग्री रखा था वो उठा के लेके चलने लगे वो लोग. And they took it and they offered it to Lord and his friends. And Lord became pleased. उन्होंने सोचा भी नहीं कि पता नहीं बाद में पति नाराज हो जाएंगे, डांटेंगे, कहाँ सामग्री सब उठा के लेके चली गई। हो सकता है गुस्सा ही जाए, बोले अब चले जाओ, नहीं अभी चलेगा नहीं। But they were not concerned about that. They were concerned about to please the Yagya Purusha. So later on, this Yagya Brahmana, they regret also. No, we could not understand the Lord himself is here. We should have pleased him. We should have. So that's how. No, the ultimate purpose of Yagya is to please Lord Vishnu, to please Lord Krishna. That is Paramakha. And that's why in Bhagvatam also, that these demigods, they also pray, no, same thing. That we don't want to live in the heaven where there is no sacrifices going on for pleasure of Lord. You know, this, some sloka, no? नायत्र वैकुंठ कथा सुदापगा नासादवो भागवतस्तदाश्रया नायत्र यज्ञेषु मकामोत्सवा सुरेन्द्रलोकोऽपि न वैस्य सेव्यताम् नायत्र नारायण पाद पंकजा स्मृतिस्प्रमुष्टा ततिशयेन्द्रियोत्सवा नायत्र यज्ञेषु मखा महोत्सवा. There is no festivals, there is no sacrifices for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, Lord, because everybody, so much sense gratification is there that nobody is caring about pleasing the Lord. They are doing their duties, whatever assigned by Lord, but there is not so much longing from the heart that let me please Lord by all the sacrifices and festivals and everything. That's why they are praying that let us take birth in the land of Bharatvarsha, where there is a festivals going on for the pleasure of the Lord, where there is sacrifices going on for pleasing the Lord, and so many activities, Rath Yatra, so many things are going on. And then Vasudeva Para Yoga. The ultimate essence of all the yogic postures, all the meditation, yoga and everything is to understand Lord Vasudeva and to please him. No. So that's why so many nowadays, so many yogis, so many gymnastics. So yoga now has become just a physical exercise. There is no conception about pleasing Lord, or just Prabhupada was telling in his lecture, just pressing the nose and simply doing exercise. There is nothing like yoga means connection of soul and super soul. That means yoga. So there is nothing like that nowadays. But the ultimate yoga, the essence of yoga, Lord also says in Bhagavad Gita, yogi nam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shaddavan bhajate yomam same yukto tamamata. That is the perfect yogi. That is the highest yogi who is always abides in me, who always thinks of me. That is the perfect yogi. And in Bhagavatam also, that ultimate essence of yogic meditation is to meditate on the super soul, to see the super soul. No? Yam Brahma Varunendra Ridra Murutastunavanti Divyastave Vede Sangapadakamapnishader Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yashantam Na Vido Sura Sura Gana Devaya Tasme Namaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa. No, in their meditation, in their mind, they should focus on Lord Vishnu, Lord in the heart, super soul. That is the ultimate yoga. So like Dhruv Maharaj, he also did yogic meditation. So where he focused on the Lord. If by yogi, all the yogic meditation, everything, one is not coming to this conclusion ultimately, meditating on the Lord, then there is no use of that kind of yogic meditation and yogic postures. Because meditation means Prabhupada says there should be some object of meditation. Otherwise, किस पे meditation करेंगे? है कि नहीं? तो हमारे भक्त हैं, हम नाम नहीं बोलेंगे, बता रहे थे वो, जब वो अपने स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, तो कोई उनको सिखाते थे स्कूल में मेडिटेशन करने के लिए. बोले किस पे करना है? बोले कुछ भी सोच लो. बोले क्या सोच लो? तो उनको एक वर्ड दिया था, बोले इस पे मेडिटेशन करना. क्या? इम इम. तो कुछ नहीं है, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं, ऐसे कुछ भी ले लो जिससे मेडिटेट कर लो. So that is bogus. Prabhupada says meditation means there should be object of meditation. किस पे आप ध्यान लगा रहे हो? So object of meditation is Lord. That is the essence of all yoga. Vasudeva para kriya. All the activities, all the ritualistic ceremonies, all the duties, all the profession, whatever activities we do, ultimately should lead to Vasudeva. Should lead us to pleasing Lord Krishna. That is the ultimate essence of no. So Bhagavatam says, Atah Pumbir Dvija Sreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasa Swanustitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshan. So whatever Varna and Ashrama, Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanprastha, Sannyas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, anything, any Varna and Ashram, the ultimate goal is to please Lord Krishna. And by doing all these activities, if one is not coming to conclusion, one is not developing devotional service and rati for the Lord, then Sham Evahi Swanistitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. And this one comes, no? It's Sham Evahi Keval. Na Utpad Yed Yadi Ratim Sham Evahi Keval. That is simply a hard labor if one is not coming to that conclusion. So one shloka also, I think Mother Devuti says, or like Lord Kapila says, this one. Can repeat. Nayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevaya jivan api mrato hi saha. Says na neha yat karma dharmaya. If your activities, your karma is not leading to dharma, the karma, all the activities should lead to dharma. And na viragaya kalpate. And that dharma, whatever religion you are performing, it should lead to viragya, renunciation. Na tirth pad sevaya. And that viragya ultimately should lead to devotional service. Jivan api mratoi se. Otherwise, one is living dead. So, no said. Anyone whose work is not meant to elevate him to religious life, anyone whose religious ritualistic performances do not raise him to renunciation, and anyone situated in renunciation that does not lead him to devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be considered dead, although he is breathing. So, this is the ultimate goal of all kriya, all the activities. That's why Lord says, na, yad juhosi, yad dadasi, yad tapasyasi konte, tat kurusva madarpana. So all the kriyas, all the activities, whatever. So recently, no, on his Grace Adesham Prus channel, Prabhuji wrote very beautiful. Nam Prem Paul sent that in Krishna Karna also, na, that your profession is not simply a profession, it's a preaching field. And then how you do, the way you do, your actions will preach. You know, very beautiful Prabhuji wrote. So that's why ultimately our kriya, our activities, our profession, our services, our duties, everything should ultimately lead to glorify the Lord or to develop devotional service to the Lord and ultimately lead others to take to devotional service. That should be the ultimate goal of all kriya. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. That all the knowledge, no, so many big scholars, so many big, no, intelligent people, they are commenting on Bhagavad Gita, or they have great knowledge, no, lot of information. But if that information does not bring, that knowledge does not bring one to, ultimately concluding that the essence of all knowledge is Lord Krishna, then there is no use of that knowledge. That is simply a shushk knowledge. No, there is no essence of that knowledge. So Lord also says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Siddhurlabh. That ultimately, after millions and millions of lifetime, the great Jnanis, ultimately they come to this conclusion only, that Lord Krishna is the ultimate. So Prabhupada is mentioning in his class that, so like modern scientists, they're also doing so many things. Big knowledge, big universities, big technologies, everything. But they are not understanding the ultimate thing, what is soul, what is super soul, what is Lord, nothing. So Prabhupada is telling that when I went to America in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, so there I was asking them that you have all the departments of knowledge, physics, chemistry, engineering, technology, these so many things. But where is the departments where you can know the difference between dead body and alive body? What is the difference between a soul and body? So it is MIT. So where is the department where you study about Almighty? Prabhupada was telling. So that knowledge simply bind us more and more, because that knowledge is not bringing us to the knowledge of the soul, the knowledge of the Lord, and the relation between soul and Lord. So that's why Rajshampur says the real MSc, Master of Science, is the knowledge about matter, knowledge about soul, and see knowledge about controller of both matter and soul. That is Lord. So that is real MSc, Master of Science. So that is Param Jnanam. So there are so many Jnanis, no, who became devotees later on. No, because that ultimate that Jnana should lead to devotion to Lord. So can we think of some of the examples where Jnanis previously and later on impersonalist, and later on they became great devotees? Sukdev Goswami himself, no, great. Four Kumaras, how they became four Kumaras by smelling the fragrance of the tulsi leaf offered to the Lord's lotus feet, no, they became devotees. Anything? Huh? Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. No, Prakasham was Mayavadi. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was impersonalist. And Bilwa Mangal Thakur, he was also great impersonalist before. So he became later on great devotee. So devote service is so attractive that even liberated souls like Sukdev Goswami, Kumaras, who are not interested in this world or who has nothing to give and take with this world, they are aloof from this world to the extent they don't wear clothes only. So those kind of people also, they also get attracted to the devotional service of the Lord, because devotional service is so attractive, so blissful, so magnanimous, and so much releasing to the heart and soul. So Sukdev Goswami also, when he heard this shloka, no, that Aho bakiyam stanakala kotam jagans payale vishadeva datri Vigam Savaya apiye sadvi on Kimva Dayalum Sharanam Vrajema. That who will be so much more merciful than the Lord Krishna himself, who has given the position of his own mother or Dhatri to the demoness Putna who came to kill him. Because Lord just saw that I sucked her breast, I drank milk from her breast, so that's why she became my mother. And Lord liberated him. So that is the ultimate gyan that we should come to understanding, that Lord is the ultimate goal of life. Vasudeva Param Tapaha. All the tapasya austerities should be done only for the pleasure of Lord. Not for gaining mystic powers, not for showing to the world that I am such a great tapasvi. See how I can walk on the water. See, I can live without eating for 4 days. And so many, austerities people do in this world. But the ultimate goal of all the austerities should be for the pleasure of the Lord. And many people do austerities in this world. Everybody is doing austerity tapasya. But real austerity is taking inconveniences for the pleasure of the Lord, for elevating one's consciousness in devotional service. So Rasham was giving example that many people do austerity. From Pune to Mumbai, people go in the early morning, no, ट्रेन में लटक के जाते हैं, बहुत तपस्या करते हैं, बट वो कोई तपस्या नहीं है. That's why तपस्या should be दिव्य तपस्या. तपो दिव्यम पुत्र का ये ना सत्वम शुद्धेत यस्मात् ब्रह्म सोक्यम त्वनंतम. That tapasya should lead to realization of the Lord and loving service to the Lord, and that then only it will be divine tapasya, and it will satisfy the soul. So that is the goal of tapasya. So let's take two examples who did tapasya. Now Hiranyakashipu also did lot of austerity, lot of tapasya, and Dhruv Maharaj also did lot of tapasya and austerity. So what are the similarities and what are the differences between both of their tapasyas and austerities? Can we tell some austerities and some similarities and differences? Okay, yes. One similarity is Hiranyakashipu was also doing for material benefit, and Dhruv Maharaj was also doing for material benefit. Okay. Another similarity? Huh? Intensity of tapasya. Very great intensity, no? दोनों एक पांव पे खड़े थे शायद, ना? दोनों हिरण्यकश्यप एक पांव पे खड़ा था. दोनों बहुत तपस्या किए थे. Any other similarity? Huh? Both followed. हाँ, पता नहीं, ध्रुव महाराज को तो पता है, हिरण्यकेशव का पता नहीं। Okay. Don't follow gurus. And any other similarity?
From Hiradekeshu case.
Yes, they suffocated the upper planetary systems, no? Okay, and हिरण्यकेशव case is start burning, no? But दोनों ने ट्रबल क्रिएट किया डेमीगॉड्स के लिए, ठीक है, अच्छा। और any and differences, similarities and differences? Huh? Okay, one is following pure deity. He was worshipping Brahma, and Dhruva was worshipping Lord Vishnu. Okay, any other? Huh? These are say purified. Hiranyakeshipu, these are say not. Any other? Yes, ये भी है, एक एटर में मिला है। तो, हाँ, हमारा 6 months only. Yes. हाँ, तपस्या के बाद उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ा। Yes. Another thing, how they use their powers also. Hiranyakshipu used his powers of tapasya, and his intention was that only. Dhruv Maharaj was intention was not that he will harm his father or his brother, not like that. He hurted, that's why he saw, okay, let me become the more powerful than even my father. No, let me have the kingdom even more bigger than the great grandfather. So the desire was not for harming someone, but Hiranyakshipu intention was this one, let me gain power so that I can control everyone. That was the desire of Hiranyakashipu. And another thing, very nice thing Prabhuji was mentioning, that when Hiranyakashipu did tapasya, so his intention was bad and he was worshipping Brahma, demigod. That's why his desires were not purified. So when demigods became afraid, they started burning. They went to Lord that बहुत तपस्या कर रहा है, बहुत दिक्कत हो रहा है, जल रहे हम लोग. So Lord told, okay, you don't worry. When this fellow will torture his own son Prahlad, who is a great devotee of mine, then I will come and kill this fellow. So Lord was not pleased with the tapasya of Hiranyakashipu, because the goal of tapasya should be pleasing Lord. But when Dhruv Maharaj's case, when demigods went to Lord, that this Dhruva is doing lot of tapasya and we are suffocating. So Lord told, don't worry, he is a wonderful devotee and I am very much pleased with him, and very soon I am going to give him my darshan. So don't worry. So Lord was pleased with Dhruva's tapasya and Lord wanted to give him darshan. So that is the, and because he worshipped the Supreme Lord, his desires were purified. And his intention was not bad. So that's why he purified and Lord gave darshan also. And Hiranyakashipu ultimately destroyed, and Dhruv Maharaj got Dhruv Loka also, no? Ultimately. So that's why this tapasya should be done ultimately for pleasing the Lord, for elevating our consciousness, for basically increasing our devotion to the Lord. That should be the goal of tapasya. Then Vasudeva Paro Dharma. No, the goal of all the dharma. No, so Prabhupada was mentioning everybody is following some dharmas, no? Muslim dharma, this dharma, Christian, Jews, Hindu. So many religions people are following. And then Jati dharma, देश धर्म, उसके अलावा कम्युनिटी धर्म, है ना, बहुत सारे धर्म लोग पालन करते हैं अपने अपनी कास्ट के. सो मेनी काइंड्स ऑफ धर्मा पीपल डू, बट दैट धर्मा शुड अल्टीमेटली लीड टू लव ऑफ गॉड. No, Bhagvatam says that सवे पुंसाम परो धर्म यतो भक्तिर अधोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मासु प्रतिदति. That dharma should be ultimately for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, and it should be unmotivated, uninterrupted, and then only it can satisfy the self. It can satisfy the soul. And that's why Prabhupada was mentioning, that's why people are doing so many kinds of religion, but still they are not happy. And The example itself is, no, Prabhu was mentioning that even Vyasdev himself, he wrote so many kinds of Vedic literatures, but Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, this Kand, he was not ultimately bringing people to the essence that ultimately one should surrender to the Lord. And that's why he was dissatisfied. So in Bhagavatam purport itself, Prabhupada mentioned कि जिन्होंने वैदिक शास्त्र लिखे हैं सारे, वो खुद लिखने के बाद सेटिस्फाई नहीं, तो पढ़ने वाले क्या होंगे? And he was satisfied after writing Srimad Bhagavatam, because Narad Muni told him that you should write some literature which should be unadulterated glorification of the Lord. उसमें कोई मिक्सिंग नहीं. धर्म प्रोजित केटवत्र परमो निर्मसराणाम सताम. That he should kicked out also all the bogus religions, all ket of dharmas. And then only Vyasdeva was satisfied completely, because that was unmotivated, uninterrupted glorification of the Supreme Lord. So that dharma, so Prabhupada said, Prabhupada many times mentioned that I am not here in your country to convert you from Christianity to Hinduism. You follow your dharma, whatever dharma. If you don't know how to chant what, then you chant Hare Krishna. But whatever religion you are following, ultimately you should come to the conclusion that you should love God and love all. And Shankar was mentioning in one of the lecture that sometimes people say that I love my country, I love these people, I love my caste people, I love all the animals. No, and sometimes they love all human beings, but they kill the animals. So they said we love all. So Prabhu was telling that without loving God, nobody can love all. Nobody can love all. Because there will be some differences, no? Color difference, caste difference, creed difference, national difference, language difference, so many differences on bodily platform. So until unless one loves the Supreme Lord and then sees everyone in connection with the Lord, that everybody is a part and parcel of the Lord, it's very difficult to love everyone. The love God, love all. So that should be the essence of. So Prabhupada says, if you are not coming to that conclusion, means there is some problem in your process or what you are following. That's how one can check. So that's why once somebody asked Sala Prabhupada that how can we know that so many people are telling that we are genuine followers of Krishna, our Bhagavata is genuine, this and that. How to know that who are the genuine followers of Krishna or Bhagavata? So Prabhupada said that those who are my followers, they are made after Krishna. They are made after Krishna. So that's the essence of all dharma, that the people should become made after Lord. They should fall in love with the Lord. Then Vasudeva Para Gati. The ultimate goal, destination of life is Vasudeva, Lord Krishna. That is the ultimate goal. No. And dharma, so dharmam to shakshat bhagavad pranitam. The ultimate dharma is whatever Lord has told, that is ultimate dharma. Vasudeva Paragati. The ultimate destination is to go to the back home, back to God. So let's go to the purport. Prabhupada बहुत अच्छे से एक बताएं. That Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is the only object of worship is confirmed in these two shlokas. In the Vedic literature, there is the same objective, establishing our relationship with Vasudeva, acting according to that relationship, and ultimately reviving our lost loving service onto him. Sambandhe, Avidaya, Prayojan. These three things. That is the sum and substance of the Vedas. In the Bhagavad Gita, the same theory is confirmed by the Lord in his own words. The ultimate purpose of the Veda is to know him only. ये वेदा का प्रपाद ने बता रहे हैं इस वाले स्टार्टिंग पैराग्राफ में. All the revealed scriptures are prepared by the Lord through his incarnation in the body of Shila Vyasadeva, just to remind the fallen souls conditioned by material nature of Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. No demigod can award freedom from material bondage. That is the verdict of all the Vedic literatures. Impersonalists who have no information of the personality of Godhead minimize the omnipotency of the Supreme Lord and put him on equal footing with all other living beings. And for this act, such impersonalists get freedom from material bondage only with great difficulty. They can surrender unto him only after many, many births in the culture of transcendental knowledge. One may argue that the Vedic activities are based on sacrificial ceremonies. Prabhupada बता रहे sacrifice वाला. That is true, but all the One may argue that the Vedic literary activities are based on sacrificial ceremonies. That is true, but all such sacrifices are also meant for realizing the truth about Vasudeva. Another name of Vasudeva is Yajna, sacrifice, and in the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that all sacrifices and all activities are to be conducted for the satisfaction of Yajna or Vishnu, the personality of God. This is the case also with the yoga systems. Yoga means to get in touch with the Supreme Lord. The process, however, includes several bodily features such as asana, dhyana, pranayama, and meditation, and all of them are meant for concentrating upon the localized aspect of Vasudeva, represented as Paramatma. Upon the Paramatma realization is but partial realization of Vasudeva. And if one is successful in that attempt, one realizes Vasudeva in full. But by ill luck, most yogis are stranded by the powers of mysticism achieved through the bodily process. Ill-fated yogis are given a chance in the next birth by being placed in the families of good learned brahmanas or in the families of rich merchants in order to execute the unfinished task of Vasudeva realization. If such fortunate brahmanas and sons of rich men properly utilize the chance, they can easily realize Vasudeva by good association with saintly persons. Unfortunately, such preferred persons are captivated again by material wealth and honor, and thus they practically forget the aim of life. योगी कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाता है तो अच्छे घर में, अच्छे ब्राह्मण घर में उसमें जन्म लेता है. तो अभी रिसेंटली ग्रुप पे भी डाला था शायद विश्वजीत प्रभु ने, भगवतम बहुत अच्छा प्रपाद लिखे हैं भगवद गीता में कि हु इज मोर फॉर्चुनेट. This slok, no, sorry, Bhagavatam only. This slok, no, Narad Muni says this slok. One who has tested the nectar of the lotus feet of the Lord even once also, he cannot forget that, and he'll be frustrated if he'll try to enjoy this material world. He'll not able to enjoy. Again, he will remember that only. So here Prabhupada writes, a karmi suffers the result of his own fruitive reactions, where a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Lord himself. The sufferings of an orphan and the sufferings of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same. An orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him. But a beloved son of a rich man, although he appears to be on the same level as the orphan, is always under the vigilance of his capable father. A devotee of the Lord, due to wrong association, sometimes imitates the fruity workers. The fruity workers want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee foolishly thinks of accumulating some material powers in exchange for devotional service. Such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord himself. ले भगवान ही डिफिकल्टी में डाल रहे हैं मेटेरियल डिजायर हम लोग इसलिए एज ए स्पेशल फेवर भगवान का स्पेशल कृपा है. He may remove all material paraphernalia by such action. The bewildered devotee is forsaken by all friends and relatives. है ना, तो बोलते ना कहीं सुना था मैं, नारायण जब कृपा करे देते 3 वरदान, रोगी करे, निर्धन करे और करे अपमान. तो कुछ नहीं रहेगा, घर वाले भी छोड़ देंगे, बोले कुछ काम का नहीं है, बिगड़ गया है लड़का. अभी रिसेंटली छोटा सा क्लिप दिया था किसी ने ना, लोकनाथ स्वामी महाराज का छोटा सा क्लिप. महाराज बोल रहे थे अपना गांव में गए थे, महाराज वहां सबको कथा दे, सब लोग भक्त बन गए अभी. तो महाराज बोल रहे थे जब पहली बार मैं अपने गांव में आया तो लोग ये बोल रहे थे अच्छा भला लड़का था, क्या हो गया इसको, हरे कृष्णा हो गया, पागल हो गया ये. बोले अभी मेरे को पागल बोलने वाले सब पागल हो गए, सब हरे कृष्णा हो गए. तो relatives, and so he comes to his senses again by the mercy of the Lord and is set right to execute his devotional service. तो जरा भगवान ऐसा कर देते कि उसको लाचार हो जाता है, helpless. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such fallen devotees are given a chance to take birth in a family of highly qualified brahmanas or a rich mercantile family. A devotee in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is chastised by the Lord and put into a position seemingly of helplessness. भगवान जिसको helpless condition में डाल देते हैं वो ज्यादा fortunate. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of the Lord is more fortunate than those who are born in good families. The fallen devotees born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of the Lord because they are less fortunate. But the devotee who is put into a forlorn condition is more fortunate because he swiftly returns to the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking himself helpless all around. special favor of the Lord for devotees. That's why no, बाकी भूल सकते हैं और पता नहीं ना, अच्छे घर में जन्म लेने से अच्छे घर में बिगड़ भी जाते हैं लोग। तो इसी जन्म में अगर भगवान चाटा मारे, चेस्टाइजमेंट दे, तो बहुत अच्छा लगे। तो बात ऐसे ही बोल रहे हैं, जब मिलता है तो बोलते हैं, भगवान इतना भी नहीं, थोड़ा देख परख के दीजिए, बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है, हैंडल नहीं कर पा रहे, कृपा। This is also so for the culture of knowledge. According to the Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 items in culturing knowledge. By such culture of knowledge, one becomes gradually prideless, devoid of vanity, non-violent, forbearing, simple, devoted to the great spiritual master, and self-controlled. By culture of knowledge, one becomes unattached to hearth and home, and becomes conscious of the miseries of due to death, birth, old age, and disease. All culture of knowledge culminates in devotional service to the personality of Godhead Vasudeva. So this ultimate goal of knowledge. Now Lord also says 20 items of knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. And other than this, everything is ignorance. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, arjam, shantirevache, acharya, pasanam, shocham, satyam, atma, vinigraha. So all these things Prabhupada is mentioning. Therefore, Vasudeva is the ultimate aim in culturing all different branches. Sorry. In that verse, slokas, verses, so the most important object of knowledge comes Mai cha ananya yogena bhakti cha व्यभिचारिणी. दैट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इज अनन्य भाव से भक्ति करता है भगवान की। ये मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है। 20 जो आइटम नॉलेज ये हो गया, बाकी सब हो जाएंगे। और बाकी सब है लेकिन ये नहीं है तो फिर therefore Vasudeva is the ultimate aim in culturing all different branches of knowledge. Culture of knowledge leading one to the transcendental plane of meeting Vasudeva is real knowledge. Physical knowledge in its various branches is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita as ajnana, or the opposite of real knowledge. The ultimate aim of physical knowledge is to satisfy the senses, which means prolongation of the term of material existence and thereby continuance of the threefold miseries. So prolonging the miserable life of material existence is nescience, but the same physical knowledge leading to the way of spiritual understanding help wants to end the miserable life of physical existence and to begin the life of spiritual existence on the plane of Vasudeva. तो प्रभुपाद या तपस्या का बोलेंगे, तो एक एक का प्रभुपाद बोलेंगे, पूरा बड़ा पर्पट है. So time is already over. So you can read yourself in your leisure time and go through the purport. I will try to explain whatever important points. Anyone, any questions? Big purport. You can read from this. Austerity से start. बहुत लंबा है. Any questions? प्रश्न नहीं तो हम लोग फिर पढ़ लेते. Take 5 minutes. Can you do that? The same applies to all kinds of austerities. Tapasya means voluntary acceptance of bodily pains to achieve some higher end of life. Ravana and Hiranyakashipu underwent a severe type of bodily torture to achieve the end of sense gratification. Sometimes modern politicians also undergo severe type of austerities to achieve some political end. This is not actually tapasya. One should accept voluntarily bodily inconvenience for the sake of knowing Vasudeva, because that is the way of real austerities. Otherwise, all forms of austerities are classified as being in the modes of passion and ignorance. Passion and ignorance cannot end the miseries of life. Only the mode of goodness can mitigate the threefold miseries of life. Vasudeva and Devaki, their so-called father and mother of Lord Shri Krishna, underwent penances to get Vasudeva as their son. Lord Shri Krishna is the father of all living beings. Therefore, he is the original living being of all other living beings. He is the original, eternal enjoyer amongst all other enjoyers. Therefore, no one can be his begetting father, as the ignorant may think. Lord Sri Krishna agreed to become the son of Vasudeva and Devaki upon being pleased with their severe austerities. Therefore, if any austerities have to be done, they must be done to achieve the end of knowledge, Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the original personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. As explained before, the original personality of Godhead expands himself by innumerable forms. Such expansion of forms is made possible by his various energies. His energies are also multifarious, and his internal energies are superior and external energies inferior in quality. They are explained in the Bhagavad Gita as the para and the apara prakritis. So his expansions of various forms which take place via the internal energies are superior forms, where the expansions which take place via the external energies are inferior forms. The living entities are also his expansions. The living entities who are expanded by his internal potency are eternally liberated persons, where those who are expanded in terms of the material energies are eternally conditioned souls. Therefore, all culture of knowledge, austerity, sacrifice, and activity should be aimed at changing the quality of the influence that is acting upon us. Quality of influence. Now we are influenced by modes of ignorance, passion, and sattva. So all activities, all the knowledge, everything is ultimately changing the quality of our passion. For the present, we are all being controlled by the external energy of the Lord, and just to change the quality of the influence, we must endeavor to cultivate the spiritual energy. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that those who are Mahatmas or those whose minds have been so broadened as to be engaged in the service of Lord Krishna are under the influence of the internal potency, and the effect is that such broad-minded living beings are constantly engaged in the service of the Lord without deviation. That should be the aim of life, and that is the verdict of all the Vedic literatures. No one should bother himself with fruitive activities or try speculation about transcendental knowledge. Everyone should at once engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, nor should one worship different demigods who works at different hands of the Lord for creation, maintenance, or destruction of the material world. There are innumerable powerful demigods who look over the external management of the material world. They are all different assisting hands of Lord Vasudeva, even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are induced in the list of demigods, but Lord Vishnu or Vasudeva is always transcendentally situated. Even though he accepts the quality of goodness of the material world, he is still transcendental to all the material modes. The following example will clear up that matter more explicitly. In the prison house, there are the prisoners and the manager of the prison house. Both the managers and the prisoners are bound by the laws of the king. But even though the king sometimes comes in the prison, he is not bound by the laws of the prison house. The king is therefore always transcendental to the laws of the prison house, as the Lord is always transcendental to the laws of material world. Yes, Lord. Okay. So, yes, Prabhu. Actually, there are two, three things in this. One is the scriptures, like other scriptures which you mentioned in other religions. So, this religion is, all those religions are coming from Abrahamic religions. So, they are uh, exclusive religions. Exclusive means like this is what you need to follow, otherwise, you are kicked out. Right? If you don't accept that, then you will go to hell. That's all. So there is no inclusion of different kinds of people or different standard of people. Everybody has to follow the same standard, but that's very difficult actually. No. So, but Sanatana Dharma is an inclusive religion actually. It's inclusive because people are in different modes. People are in different consciousness. So the ultimate goal of all the Vedic knowledge is to bring people slowly, slowly, slowly to the ultimate end, that they come to shelter of the Lord. That is the ultimate goal. But if you exclude everyone, like in preaching also, if we think okay जो 16 माला करेगा वही सेशन में आएगा, उसके अलावा बाकी सबको हटा देंगे. So how people will take to Krishna consciousness? So everybody is in different modes, in different level of consciousness, different conditionings, different backgrounds, everything. So ultimately, the Vedas, they support every living beings in their own particular modes, so that they can slowly raise themselves and come to that level. That's how. That's why Vyasdev given that. But at the same time, Narad Muni wanted Vyasdev to give that exclusive literature for those people who are directly searching after the Lord only. Or even if they are not searching after the Lord, but by the mercy of devotees, by the mercy of some pure devotee, if they come in touch with that process which is the parodharma, they will take it. And it's not that all will take. Prabhupada went to USA, Prabhupada pleased many. It's not that everybody took up devotional service. Many did not took up because they were in different modes and conditions. And somewhere there were very much, I would say, obedient to Prabhupada, or they were really seeking something higher in life. So they raised themselves from the modes also because they become attached to Prabhupada. So it's, yes, bhakti is for everyone. Even if any mode, one can do bhakti. But at the same time, it's not that everybody will take up bhakti. That's one's free will. So that's why he has given different standard and different levels of worship for different kinds of people. Because otherwise, if you don't give them any kind of rules and regulations for their own uh, level, according to their level, then ultimately they will do sin only. No, they will go to hell basically. They will go to sin. So at least no religious principles and regulations will ultimately fall in illicit connection. No, so on. So according to rules and regulations of Vedic scriptures, the particular activities, the sense gratification is also allowed to some extent. Otherwise, one will die. No, Bhagavatam says no that Kamesha Nendriya Pitir Labho Jiveta Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa Narto Yaschyaha Karmi. That the senses should be satisfied or taken care to the extent you can maintain your body and soul together and one can perform devotion service. So that much satisfaction one has to give to the senses also. Otherwise, uh, one will not, one will die only, not follow anything actually. तो मोड के हिसाब से दिया so many things. But ultimate process भी दिया है. And regarding scriptures mentioning he is supreme, this and that. But yes, Prabhu, in any of the Puranas, wherever mentioned the Lord Shiva is supreme, Lord Durga is supreme, so there they are not comparing with Lord Vishnu and other things. They are telling this is a God, he is a powerful, supreme, everything. But when it comes to Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam directly says Yam Brahma Varuna Indra Rudra Mauta Yatstunuvanti Divyastava. He takes the names of Brahma, Shiva, Narada, and Na Shiva Viranchi. Bhagavatam says, Na, Prahlad Maharaj prays, no, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma also. So when Bhagavatam says, so when he is taking the names of all the gods and demigods, and then they are comparing Lord Vishnu and they are telling they are supreme. Like in Dhanbad, you say Dhanbad's MLA is most powerful person. Yes, Dhanbad के लोग comparison में supreme है भाई. But now if you compare that person with the other MLAs, then MPs, then CMs and everything, then he is not supreme. Like that in different Puranas, different demigod is being glorified, but nowhere in nowhere in any Purana they are glorified supreme in comparison to the Supreme Lord Krishna or Vishnu. ये कहीं नहीं. So when you go to the essence of ethics, so you see everything from top view, then you understand what Shiva is saying, what Durga is saying. They're all saying Vishnu Aradhanam Param. No, okay, somebody is telling he is supreme. Okay, अगर मान ली सपोज कोई आपको यहाँ पूछे प्रभु जी कि प्रभु जी हमको तो लगता है इस्कॉन धनबाद में सबसे सीनियर आप ही है ना, तो लोग सोचेंगे यही सुप्रीम है. लेकिन अगर ऑनेस्ट है हम, अगर तो कोई हमसे आकर के पूछेगा प्रभु जी सब लोग तो बोल रहे हैं आप ही सब सीनियर है, आप ही बताइए कौन सीनियर, तो आप बताएंगे भाई नाम प्रेम सब सीनियर है कि नहीं. उसी तरह भाई शिव जी को सब बोल रहे हैं सुप्रीम, या वो दुर्गा जो भी सुप्रीम है, तो शिव जी से आगे पूछ लो भाई आप क्या बोलते हैं प्रभु जी, ऐसा बोल रहे हैं लोग, तो बोल रहे हैं आराधनाम सर्वेशम विष्णु आराधनम परम है, श्री राम रामेति रममान राम मनोरम है, शास्त्र नाम तत्तुल्यम राम नाम वरम, आई एम ऑस्टेंटिंग राम नाम. देयर इज नो डाउट अबाउट दिस. तो डाउट होना चाहिए. If somebody is attached to his own conceptions, then there is problem. But somebody is broad minded, trying to learn things, then you present him the things from Vedic scriptures, he will take it whatever is the truth. Any other question? Okay. हाँ.
Directly it is mentioned that from Devi she give birth to Shiva. And
इसका एक बार मैं राधे श्याम को सुना था ब्रो, बट एग्जैक्टली मेरे को क्लियरली याद नहीं आ रहा है क्या है, तो मैं भी कमेंट नहीं करना चाहूँगा. somebody knows that, मैं राज श्यामपुर के लेक्चर में सुना
They
हूँ.
mention काल ब्रह्म
हाँ हाँ, देवी पुराण का राज श्यामपुर के पास पूरा पीपीटी है, उन्होंने पूरा बना के रखा है, वो अच्छे से निकाल के उसमें दिखाते हैं, पूरा देवी पुराण पे पूरा क्लास है प्रभु जी का. हाँ, तो मेरे को एग्जैक्टली डिटेल्स नहीं याद आ रहा है, तो मैं कुछ कमेंट नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि गलत कुछ निकल गया तो अच्छा नहीं. बेटर है कि लेट मी हियर एंड देन. किसी को याद है तो बता सकते हैं.
स्क्रिप्चर्स में जैसे मुस्लिम में, तो उनको उनके रिलीजन से उनको अपलिफ्ट होना चाहिए, बट दे आर एक्चुअली डूइंग मोर सिंपल एक्टिविटी लाइक काउ काउ किलिंग इज देयर. तो इससे तो और वो डिग्रेड हो रहे हैं, बिकॉज दे विल बी सफर फॉर मेनी मिलियंस. इन वन सेंस इज मोर डिग्रेडिंग एक्चुअली.
तो सब में वैसा हो रहा है ना ब्रो. इवन इन हिंदूज आल्सो, लोग कुछ भी कुछ कुछ रिचुअल्स होता है गांव में, 40 बकरी कट रही है, 50 तो भैंस कट रही है. So in the name of religion, everybody is manipulating things, not just them only, everyone. Because Prabhupada says in Kali Yuga, people's religion is sense gratification. They are not concerned about whether they are Hindu or Muslim or Christian, whatever. They are concerned with their sense gratification. That's all.
Our scripture it is mentioned in regulated way, but in other
So
scripture
who is doing in regulated way? That's the point, no? उनके साथ फिर भी उतना रेगुलेशन नहीं, यहाँ तो इतना रेगुलेशन दिया, उसके बाद लोग मैनिपुलेट कर रहे हैं. एंड देयर इज नॉट सो मच रेगुलेशन देयर, थोड़ा मोड़ा रेगुलेशन है, बिकॉज का वही लेवल है. सो एवरीवेयर पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड इन सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन. So it's not about, and ultimately killing everyone is a killing jiva only, Prabhu. Now the scripture says that killing cow is very very simple, but ultimately one is killing jiva only, either goat or भैंस और कुछ भी हो, जीव को तो मार ही रहे. So it's not about their problem only, it's about our problem. How many Hindus are taking care of the cows? Tell me. डिमांड मार्केट में रहेगा, लेकिन सप्लाई नहीं, तो कैसे डिमांड पूरा होगा? बट वी आर सप्लाइंग, दे आर डिमांडिंग. तो खाली उन्हीं का फॉल्ट नहीं है, ये हम बाकी जो रेस्पॉन्सिबल लोग हैं उनका भी फॉल्ट है, because they are not taking care of the cow. People want just milk from the cow and then leave the cow for slaughterhouse. Yes, sir. And who is doing that? Muslims are not doing, Christians are not doing, Hindus are doing. So whatever is in our hand, let's do that. Yes, sir. तो टाइम हो गया, किसी को जाना जा सकते हैं.
हम लोग कैसे समझे? कई बार लगता है कि हमारी फुलिशनेस के कारण हम जो गलती कर रहे हैं उसको हमको मिल, कई बार दूसरों की वजह से हमको गलत मिल रहा है, और बहुत चीजें मतलब भगवान को उसमें देख पाना
तो इसमें दो चीजें हैं ब्रो. वो अच्छे से मेंशन करते हैं प्रभुपाद, जब कोई डिवोटी है, सिंसियरली भक्ति करना चाहता है, लेकिन साथ में वो सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन से अटैच है, तो भगवान उसको चेस्टाइजमेंट करते हैं ताकि वो हेल्पलेस हो जाए. ऐसा नहीं कोई सिंसियरली भक्ति कर रहा है, सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन अटैच नहीं, फिर भी भगवान देंगे कष्ट, ऐसा नहीं. फिर वो शुद्ध भक्तों का है कि जो जयपता का महाराज उन लोग को, हम लोग को सिखाने के लिए. लेकिन हम लोग के स्तर में जो है, हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं अटैच रहते, तो भगवान हमको फॉरलोन कंडीशन में लाना चाहते हैं, है ना. और भगवान तो हमेशा भक्त की लाइफ में एक्ट करते हैं, कोई भक्ति सिंसियरली करता है. हाँ, the other devotees, when other devotees suffering, the other should see that Lord want, he is a very sincere soul, that's why Lord, I want him to become even more sincere, that's why Lord is giving him problem. But when that particular devotee who is suffering, he should always think that because of my foolishness, because of my sinful acts, I am suffering, and Lord is giving me just token punishment only. This should be the consciousness of individual who is suffering. And others should not say, अरे प्रभु ठीक है, सब चलता नहीं, पाप किए होंगे आपने तो इसलिए वो मिल रहा है प्रभु. That is offense. We should not think that अरे वो बहुत पापी था इसलिए सफर कर रहा है. We should always this consciousness, अरे maybe Lord want to teach him something, और भगवान का कुछ उसके चल रहा है, so between him and Lord. But an individual, one should always think, okay, I am suffering due to my own past misdeeds. Lord is giving me just token punishment. I should be taken to hell. So let me tolerate it, and at the same time, let me continue my devotion service. That's important. And one should thank Lord. Thank you, my dear Lord. बोलना बहुत आसान है प्रभु, वी आर आल्सो प्रैक्टिसिंग सत्येनु कंपाम, right? He has a rightful claim to go back to Godhead. So how many of you want rightful claim to go back to Godhead? Everybody want, no? Thank you Krishna for giving this. जब मैं पढ़ रहा था रिसेंटली, नारद मुनि का यही कॉन्शियसनेस था. When his mother died, the same consciousness. He was taking that as a mercy of the Lord. लिखा हुआ है. और प्रपात परपट में लिखते हैं कि this is how Krishna drags a sincere soul to his lotus feet. पढ़ के कोई डर जाएगा, बोले सिंसियर सोल को भगवान ऐसे खींच के लाते हैं अपने चरणों में, माँ को मार करके. Lord can do anything. If you can become a pure devotee, उसके लिए भगवान को जो करना है पूरी दुनिया को हिला देंगे. भगवान कुछ भी कर सकते हैं अगर एक व्यक्ति को प्योर डिवोटी बनाना है. अगर कोई सिंसियर है भगवान प्योर डिवोटी बनाए तो भगवान कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. महाप्रभु बोलते भी है कि फॉर मी वन डिवोटी इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन इवन होल यूनिवर्स. तो एक डिवोटी के लिए भगवान कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. भक्ति के लिए भगवान को शुद्ध भक्त बनाना है तो अब नाउ हु विल चूज टू बिकम प्योर डिवोटी, दैट्स द चॉइस फॉर एवरीवन. Lord can do anything to make us pure devotee. Now we have to choose to Hari. प्यूरिफिकेशन था लग रहा है अभी नहीं. सो बट सी प्रभु, एक साइड में अगर देखे तो यस, उस टाइम पे क्राइसिस था. दे वर लाइक फ्रंट सोल्जर्स इन द आर्मी. दे ले डाउन देयर लाइफ एक्चुअली. सो नाउ वी आर सिटिंग एंड पीसफुली हियरिंग भागवतम. तो वी शुड कंसिडर लाइक दे आर शहीद हो गए वो लोग, समझना चाहिए. एंड लॉर्ड विल श्योरली ब्लेस देम बिकॉज़ दे हैव प्लीज्ड प्रभुपाद एंड प्रभुपाद विल ब्लेस देम. एंड मेनी ऑफ देम दे केम बैक आल्सो प्रभु. They left and then they seen the material world and they could not enjoy there. Ultimately, Krishna put them in fallen condition. They ultimately came back. And some of them may came back in next life. But they will come back. 1 life, 2 life, 3 life, they will come to Lord's lotus feet because they have tasted that nectar. Very difficult to forget that. So they are fortunate only. भरत महाराज में भी हो सकता है कि वो लोग जल्दी भगवत धाम चले जाएं, बाकी लोग जिनका छोड़ के नहीं गए उनसे भी. तो अगर भरत महाराज को हिरण से अटैच नहीं होता तो पता नहीं कि उस लाइफ टाइम में भगवत धाम जाते कि जाते पता नहीं. बट वो हो गए तो 3 लाइफ टाइम में चले गए क्योंकि बहुत सीरियस हो गए ना. फिर बहुत सीरियस हो गए. भगवान हेल्प करते हैं सीरियस जो सिंसियर है उसको. कृष्णा हेल्प देम. तो इवन लॉर्ड्स इंटरफेरेंस और नो मेटल वर्ल्ड का जो प्रॉब्लम हो सकता फॉर सिंसियर जो सोल है, पॉजिटिव डिवोटी है, उसके लिए वो सिचुएशंस भी उसको एक भक्ति में आगे ही बढ़ाएगा बल्कि डिग्रेड नहीं करेगा. है कि नहीं. यहाँ प्रपात लिखे ना, परपट में लिखे तो प्रपात की फॉलन कंडीशन में गिरता है वो, तो देन अगेन हेल्पलेसली कम बैक टू द लोटस फीट ऑफ द लॉर्ड. उसको कोई शेल्टर दिखता भी नहीं है. वेरी फॉर्चुनेट. और कोई जिंदगी भर मुझसे कुछ नहीं हुआ, छोड़ के भी नहीं, पीसफुल लाइफ जिया है, बढ़िया मस्त खाया पिया 3 टाइम, सब कुछ बढ़िया है. उसका भी क्या ही फायदा है फिर, है ना. लेकिन अगर किसी को इतना मिला प्रसाद कि वो बहुत सीरियस हो गया भक्ति में, बहुत सिंसियरली प्रे करा सकते हो, बहुत अच्छी बात है. प्रार्थना नहीं करना चाहिए भगवान दीजिए, और जो मिल रहा है वही टॉलरेट कर लेंगे, बहुत है, वही सफिशिएंट. तो ऐसा है फिर उन लोगों का. एंड एक और दूसरा है कि अल्टीमेटली ऐसा नहीं ब्रो कि यहाँ पे प्यूरिफिकेशन हो रहा है तो बाहर में चले जाएंगे, प्यूरिफिकेशन नहीं होगा. बाहर में तो माया देवी प्यूरिफिकेशन करेगी, है कि नहीं. ज़्यादा होगा प्रभु. दोज आर आउटसाइड. हम लोग अभी जानते ही कि इतना बाहर वालों को, बाहर का लाइफ कंडीशन सिचुएशन देखेंगे, विल अंडरस्टैंड सो मच प्यूरिफिकेशन. जब वो सब जानेंगे तब हमको समझ में आएगा जो भक्तों के साथ प्यूरिफिकेशन हो रहा है ना, थोड़ा मोड़ा बहुत कम है, बहुत कम है. वो भी हरी बोल करते हुए हो रहा है, प्रसाद खाते खाते नाचते गाते. तो टेक इट. सो भगवान ठाकुर सेज व्हाट एवर हैपेंस डोंट लीव डिवोशनल सर्विस. भक्तों के संग में मर जाएंगे, शरीर छोड़ देंगे लेकिन छोड़ेंगे नहीं भक्तों का संग, कुछ भी हो जाए. ऐसा कन्विक्शन बना लेना चाहिए. तो कहाँ जाएंगे, ऑप्शन है क्या. राशाम को एग्जाम्पल देते हैं ना, एक बच्चा होता है, छोटा बच्चा बदमाशी करता है, तो माँ उसको चाटा मारती है खींच के. वो चाटा मार के रोता है, रोता है, रो के क्या करता है, माँ की साड़ी में ही लिपट के रोता है. तो वो बोले कितना मूर्ख है बच्चा, माँ ने चाटा मारा है, माँ की साड़ी में लिपट के रोता है. भाग जाना चाहिए माँ से दूर. लेकिन वो छोटा बच्चा, उसको कुछ पता नहीं है माँ के अलावा, इसलिए माँ के शेल्टर में माँ चाटा मारे, प्रेम करे, कुछ भी करे, माँ के पास ही रहेगा. In the same way, devotee also, he don't know anyone except Lord and his devotees. Lord either embrace him, Lord give him a slap. वो भगवान कहाँ जाए, हम वहीं रोएगा, भगवान के चरणों में रोएगा, कोई टेंशन नहीं, रो भी सकते हैं साइड में कोने में जाकर 1 घंटा 2 घंटा रोकर आना, फिर जाना कहीं नहीं, लेके बिकॉज उसके अलावा कुछ है नहीं. आहा प्रभु नंद सुत वृषभानु सुत जुत करुणा करो यही बारो नरोत्तम दासे कोए नाते लिहो रंगा पाए तुम बिन के आशे हमारा. Who else is there other than the Lord? If we'll go away from the Lord lotus feet, or either Lord will kick us out. So devotees are praying that, my dear Lord, please don't kick me out from your lotus feet. Where I will go, I have no other shelter. That should develop that consciousness. Please pray for me also, that I can also बोलना आसान है. हरे कृष्णा. बहुत टाइम हो गया. Thank you so much. I spoke here and there. Please forgive me. हरे कृष्णा.